All right, we're recording. Hi guys, this is Alisa Gret, Senior Group Leader with, I almost said with H2 at home. It just rolls off the tongue, with H2 at home. I am just genealogy, if it's your first time on the call. I am one of many leaders in our organization, but I'm directly under Connie. So if you're joining and you are part of Connie's group, we're all a big family. Today, we're going to be going over something kind of fun. You guys know, like, a lot of training's been happening lately where we talk about how to book at a party, which is super important. And this is something we're going to be going over a lot, how to book on a party when you're at a party. But what if you're sitting there and you're like, I have no parties and I'm sitting at 0. So today's call is going to be about going from 0 to hero. And if, as I'm talking, I'm going to just throw out some suggestions. If you guys that are on the call have some other little tidbits or other little things that you're thinking of, please take notes, write them down. And at the end, I would love for you guys to share maybe some things that have worked for you to help get your parties if you have nothing on your books. Okay, so obviously, why have parties? You know, so many of us are like, I just love sharing the product. I just love going over to my friends' houses and showing them how stuff works. Really, the problem with that is it's going to take you a lot longer. You're going to have to meet so many more people. And it's going to take you a long time because you're not meeting anybody new. Really, you're just meeting with people maybe that you have a friendship or you're related to. So your time is actually not as efficient. Okay, because you're going to be driving all over town. And remember, we try to avoid, right, driving all over town, making deliveries, doing all that kind of stuff. This is also going to help you make more money. I know that's not the purpose for some of you, but my time is money. And if I'm going to be home from my house for 2, maybe 4 hours with drive time, I want to get paid a little bit more for my time, okay? So here's a couple of little tips if you are sitting at, you have nothing, or maybe you just want to grow your business. Maybe you're already doing 2 to 4 parties and you want to do 4 to 8. Okay, so my first thing is join a networking group. And the reason I love this is because I've actually belonged to a couple really good ones. I belong to a couple terrible ones. So I've been on the both sides, but I just literally rejoined one that just started last week. And it was so refreshing, you guys, because first of all, and you know, if you're like, I don't know where to find one, you know, ask your upline. She can kind of help you reach out and find someone's. But, and my favorite personally are like the smaller ones that are free to start. The ones that you have to pay membership or do all these rules. That's not my favorite. I like the ones that are just maybe a couple gals in your neighborhood, a couple gals in the PTA that have businesses and getting together, okay? You can search on Facebook groups, maybe just search the word networking and then, you know, networking Seattle, networking Bellevue, whatever, wherever you live. Okay, if you belong to like a mom's group, you could actually say, hey, who on here owns their own business? I would love to get together and have coffee, right? So when you guys go to these networking groups, I try to do it more as a business share. Like, I want to share my ideas. I want to share how our business is cool. I want to share things that I've been doing, my goals, what I'd like to do. It's not like I get there and my goal is to just sell something to these people. Okay, it's about making relationships. Because they're going to organically hear what you have to say. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, this stuff is really cool. I want to try it. And so that's my point, is not to sit there and make them buy from me, because first of all, I probably don't want to buy what they're selling. So it sometimes is that uncomfortableness if you're just trying to sell and you're not actually reciprocating. I usually like to, at networking groups, tell people this is what I'm looking for. The biggest way that you can help me in my business is to help me find these people. And I love to give referrals. We're looking for. So by telling people that, they're like thinking like, who do I know, right? Okay, and then I do want you to kind of be wary of the, if you book for me, I'll book for you people, or they'll say, yeah, let's go and have lunch. And I've had this happen. I showed up and the gal literally has a binder and she's just there to promote me. And I've actually have stopped people and said, you know, I think this is great. You have all this information to share, and I kind of move the conversation to business in general versus hearing her spiel. But this is a great way, you guys, for me, like-minded other women who are also working hard on their business. If there's no groups that you can find, just ask another friend that owns a business. Say, let's just go out and just brainstorm. And so this will help the two of you work together. Two heads are better than one, right? Okay, so that leads me to another way. If you have no parties, ask somebody for their opinion, or maybe use their house, okay? So tell your friend, I don't have a white sink, or I don't, in my situation, I don't have a stainless steel refrigerator. Maybe you don't have a dog, which makes me sad for you, but maybe you don't have kids or whatever, and say, I would really like it if I could use your house to help expand my before and after album. Who doesn't want a clean sink or a clean oven? Usually if I'm doing a party, I will do like 3 inches of their oven, and that's the big joke, is that I only do 3 inches of the oven. But if you're doing this in this situation, be nice. Please do her whole fridge, her whole, oven or microwave or whatever. And while you're doing this, I mean, really, if you're sitting there cleaning someone's oven, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this stuff is so cool. It gives you kind of a chance to casually talk about the products enough that finally you can say, you know what, I know this is really cool, right? It's only, it's not very much money, but you should just have a party and get it for free. Okay, boom. So she gets a clean oven, and you're probably going to get a party out of it. At the very, very least, you're going to get before and after pictures. Okay, so this is a great way. Tell people, I want to expand my portfolio, my before and after. Make sure to please give her a gift, though, for doing this, obviously, because she's being really nice, so whether she hosts or not. Personally, I wouldn't give her like a sample of clay or Netapure or anything like that, because you want her to like, oh, I wish I had these products. So maybe like it's $5 Starbucks card or something like that. I'd be happy with a Starbucks card. And then also, there's always the kitchen sink challenge. You guys, this is something we've talked about before, so ask your upline if you want wordings. I'm not going to get into how to do it, but basically, go over to someone's house. I would love to come clean your sink, and you kind of just be there for 20 minutes. It's just a certain type of challenge to help you get to do one-on-ones. So talk to your upline about how to do that. But I kind of like the before and after, because they've all seen our before and after pictures, and they wonder, does this really work on my sink? And it gives you a chance to show that it does, okay? And then also, host your own demo, you guys. This is a big one, because a lot of us, when we started, we had our launch, and maybe you've had an open house, but what about being a host? Because think about it, you guys, nobody knows how to host better than you, because you guys do the training, you teach your hostesses how to have a great party. So do that yourself. I mean, like I said, you could I think you should do it separately from an appreciation event. But maybe you could do something like skincare. If you are doing lots of home care parties and you haven't done any skincare, this is a great way. Tell your friends, I would like to practice. I want to practice doing skincare parties. I'm just starting doing them. Can you guys come over and be my guinea pigs? Once they get that stuff on their face, they're going to fall in love with it, right? Okay, so right now, if you guys aren't on Netflix and don't know what Kamari is, right? Kamari, I always say her name, I feel like I say it wrong. Jamie, how do I say her name? Marie Kondo.
It's Marie Kondo, so KonMari, just like Connie, KonMari.
KonMari. I said KonMari, right? Okay, right. So on Netflix, there's a show called Tidying Up. It's amazing because it's not about getting rid of all, bring you more joy. What would bring you more joy? A chiffonette or soft scrub, SOS, whatever, your kitchen cabinets party. Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, ride the wave of this movie while it's on everybody's mind, okay? You could also do maybe a refresher course. Invite all your customers from the past year, or maybe it's been a year, like ones who haven't hosted for a year, or customers too, not just hostesses, and say, I'd love to go over the products. You guys, you would be surprised at how many weird things I hear from people. Just the other day, this gal was placing an order on a party. She couldn't come, so she was on the website. She's been a host, and she comes back and she goes, oh my gosh, I've been using this ball in the dryer. It goes in the washing machine. And I'm like, so obviously, not only did she not listen at her party, but also she didn't read her paperwork, the how-to flyers, nothing, right? I mean, think about it. How would she know how to charge it? Whatever. So obviously this is somebody who's not listening. So this would be a great example why people need to come to more than one party. when you guys are doing these refresher parties, please make sure to say that all the time. Anytime you say a little tip or trick and someone goes, oh, I didn't know that, be like, yeah, this is why it's great to go to more than one party. I bet all your friends would like to have a refresher too. Okay, so this will help you guys get more bookings. Another one would be a theme, possibly. Like I said, the organization one, but an Earth Day comes to mind, but Earth Day is not for a while, I don't think. My favorite coming up, it's gonna be February. So do love your products. What do you love about these products? And if you're doing a party and people are there and they've been to another party, hand them that product and have them tell the whole room what they love. I have a group that I've been doing a whole bunch of parties in this neighborhood, and the hostess she's only been to one, and there was one other new girl. Okay, so everybody else had been or hosted a party. So I just literally barely said anything. I just grabbed a clay and said, who loves the clay? And I handed that clay to her and let the girl talk about it. It's amazing, you guys. I mean, one girl was funny. She mentioned the towels. She goes, you didn't talk about the towels. Can I talk about them? I'm like, knock yourself out. And she starts telling the room how towels are the best thing for boob sweat. I mean, this is something that I personally would not have said at a party. So it's just cool to have other people sharing. So having a love your products party. I will tell you though, here's the biggest problem about hostessing yourself. First of all, we all want to be amazing hostesses, right? We sometimes get confused and think being an amazing hostess, you have to have the biggest party, the decorations, the house has to be spotless, all the food that anybody could have for every food allergy. But actually, you're going against, you're being a bad hostess because you're having too much food, you're making it about the food. Also, you're making it look too hard to have a party. So don't go overboard, don't dress up, keep the food super simple so your friends can sit there and go, oh my gosh, I could do this too. Okay, so don't sabotage yourself. Okay, so another way to get parties is pull the VIP card, okay? This is something you don't do all the time. This is something you don't pull out and go, hey guys, it's VIP time again. No, this is limited stuff. Inviting is better than nobody likes that. The only time you can do that is when you're brand new, okay? Instead, say something like, I've selected a few of my favorite customers to show off, whatever the heck it is, and you're one of them. I'd love to spoil you by gifting you with a, whatever the heck it is, for hosting a party, and then give her a date that's kind of soon. A bonus is your friends can stock up and learn more about the products too. So this is for my VIPs. And make it a big deal if you want. When you show up, wouldn't it be, even if you got like a little ribbon that says a VIP, when you get there, have her wear the ribbon or something like that, right? I remember a long time ago, we used to do, when people would go across stage, they would get a tiara or a sash and we'd bring it to parties and have the host wear it. It's fun. Everybody loves it. So make her a VIP, a true VIP, okay? So pull the VIP card. Another one is do a fun factor party every month, okay? So you could say something like, on top of my fun I almost said H2 at home. On top of my fun home care and spa parties each month, I'm gonna be doing a special theme. So this month it's gonna be, boom, whatever that theme is. So for February, I would do love your products or love your home or love yourself or whatever. March, you guys, okay, what's March? It's the green month, right? What better chance to go green than going to green party, so have every month kind of be like a fun little theme versus, sometimes we have like theme parties you can do, Mimosa Mondays, Flip-Flop Friday, whatever. Just make the whole theme and everything that month goes around that theme. So when you're telling people about having a party, it makes them feel like they're more likely to have a party because it's going to be something kind of fun. So just reach out to people and be like, hey, Shelly, I know you've been talking for a long time about having a party. I thought that you would really like to have one of my new fun parties, because who wouldn't want a fun party, right? It makes it seem kind of, because a lot of times people will go, oh, I don't know if my friends would be interested. Oh, that kills me. But everybody wants to have fun, okay? So that's a good one to do. Advertise your referral program. We were just talking about this before we got on the call. If you know somebody who's like, nope, I cannot absolutely not have a party, do a referral program. Let them know. If they don't know, they're not going to refer you. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. My chiropractor, My chiropractor, I met them we were at the fair. I bumped into them and I referred my friend. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are the people that I go and see. And they're like, oh, thank you for the referral. And I got a bottle of wine. How nice is that, right? So the next month, I was like, oh, I sent another friend, you guys. Do I get another bottle of wine? And they're like, oh, we just do the referral program once a month. Okay, so it's not that I don't want my friends to go to this chiropractor or whatever, but it sure doesn't make me think of who do I know, right? So even though I love my chiropractor's office and I go there all the time, it doesn't make me want to give them names or have them send my friends that way. Does that make sense? Because I don't get anything out of it. And I know that's terrible, but that's human nature. That's how you feel. So let people know you have one. Especially if somebody says no to a party, be like, well, who do you know? For me personally, I do $10 off every sale if they give me your name. So if someone calls me and says, hey, Shelly gave me your name and number, I'd like to place an order. First, I try to turn it into a party. And if she's absolutely no, I'm not interested or whatever, I then will message Shelly and I say, Shelly, thank you so much. And you can give her a referral coupon. When I do mine, I don't remember who the heck, I kind of do the honor system. And I just say, hey, next time you go to place an order, remind me I gave you this coupon. Okay. Because that way I don't have to remember. Also too, a half off item if they do a party. So if Shelly's friend had booked a party, I then would reach out to Shelly and be like, would you like to have a half price item or a $10 gift certificate? Because really the $10 gift certificate is probably cheaper than her half price item. So let people know, because if people don't know you do referrals, there's no reason for them to give out your name and number. So that's a great way to go from zero to hero. Okay, so how do you get the word out that you're even available for parties? All right, so that's kind of a little bit of a harder one because everybody's a little bit different. Some people are on Facebook, some people aren't. So whatever social media that you are using, that you are advertising on, let those people know that you're available for parties. At the very least, put it on your newsletter with the home office when you're doing the newsletter that goes out. I flat out say, hey guys, I'm booking up for my so this month would be, I still have some dates left in February, and give them a reason why to have a party. So for me, since I prefer Facebook at the moment, I would maybe like challenge, sorry, my brain left. So on Facebook, the reason I like to do mine on Facebook is because if I message somebody and I'm following up with somebody, I know they saw my message. Right? So if I'm like, hey, Stacy, I know we talked about having a party, I can see she saw it. So this is a good way to follow up with people. If you have a Facebook page, a group page, let those people know what your available dates are. I would only give out maybe the next couple weeks. And I would actually say, here's what I have available the next 2 weeks. That way, if maybe she's thinking the 23rd, you just gave her the next 2 weeks. Let these people know you're available to have dates. If you have nothing on your calendar, nothing on your social life in the entire month, first of all, ask me to go out to dinner. I love to go out to eat. And we can go to the movies. But don't say that. Don't say, hey guys, I'm available every single day. Be picky with your time. Find a date night with your husband, and maybe your kids have a play you got to go to, and then just let people know those certain dates, okay? So get the word out. Let people know that you are available to party and you actually do them. I can't believe how many times I've had somebody say, do you do parties on the weekend? I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. I do parties on the weekend. So maybe they don't know, or maybe you have like a Monday coming up and you're available. Do a post on Facebook, say, hey, do you guys know that I actually do parties on Mondays too? It doesn't have to be a weekend. Or maybe I do parties during the day. Did you guys know that? So get the word out so they know. Here's the biggest thing. This used to be a big word for our team. Our big phrase last year was not saying the phrase, let me know. Okay, so just a reminder on that. When you are talking with somebody and you're saying, oh my gosh, I think it'd be so fun. And she's like, well, let me blah, blah, blah. And if you end it by saying, okay, well, let me know, she's not going to let you know. Okay. So you need to make sure that you maybe follow it up with, how does that sound? Does Tuesday or Wednesday work? Okay. So that way you're giving her, I always like to give options in twos. Does a weekday or weeknight work? Give her some options because it makes it easier for her to make a decision. So those are some things I'm just throwing out, just if you're sitting at zero that you can start. Obviously, you can't do all these at once. Don't go on your Facebook page and say, hey, I want to do a kitchen sink and I'm going to host a party at my house and I have a VIP program. Really try to focus on the ones that really speak to you and that you would like to do, and then spread these out and think of, okay, I'm going to do these 2 this month, and next month I'm going to do X. Okay, so I know there was a lot of info. So I don't know if any of you guys online were thinking of ways to go from 0 to hero, or maybe something that worked for you and you didn't have a party. Anybody want to share? Don't feel like you have to. They all have the same face.
Well, I just do this kitchen sink challenge every so often, but I know if I say that to everybody, it'll be a little too much. So I try to limit how many times I do that.
Yeah. And who doesn't want a clean sink? I mean, I know even myself, I'm lazy. My sink's dirty. I would love it to come over and clean my sink.
Oh, great. I should come practice on you, huh?
Next meeting's at my house. You can come. I'll leave it for you.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Well, it's not, I mean, this isn't rocket science, but whenever I really don't have anything, I go back to my contact list. There's always people on my contact list. So I look at it and I think, okay, of these people on the list, who do I want to talk to first? Like, just making it fun rather than just starting at the top of the list and like, well, I haven't talked to this gal in 4 years. I guess I better talk to her. Instead, I just look and like, oh, you know what? I was talking to his mom just the other day. I should talk to her. And so, I mean, it's not rocket science, but that's what helps me.
Can you share with everybody, let's say someone doesn't have a contact list. Can you maybe share like the dump method?
Sure. And in fact, I have I don't know where I put them. I just looked at my notes the other day. But primarily, it's set a timer for yourself and just see how many names you can write down in 2 minutes. And then give yourself a break and then come back and write down all the people you can think of that, like in a certain category, like that you know from work or something like that. I can't remember. I should look at my notes. But basically, it's just giving yourself like a couple 2-minute sessions of dumping down. And then the one that I think is really interesting is to ask your husband, who do we know? Because he might come up with some people that you haven't thought of yourself. So is that what you want me to say?
Yeah, no, I love it. And you know what's really funny about that? Funny about that specific question about husbands is I did a party last month and it was the previous hostess and then one gal who came super late. Mm-hmm. And the husband was like, well, did you invite so-and-so? Well, why didn't you invite so-and-so? Well, why don't you run next door? It was really kind of funny. So that's actually a great question even for hostesses, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
If they're like, oh, I don't know who to invite, and you're kind of giving them brainstorming ideas, be like, go ask your husband. Because some of the gals, she goes, well, I don't know their name. And he goes, that's Jenny. Like, he totally knew who they were. So
that's funny. I had a party yesterday, and one of the guests came as a guest of a guest, if that makes sense. And the guest of the guest was actually sort of not the mother-in-law of the host, but like, I don't know how to describe it. So it was the 2 sisters-in-law. One is the host, one was her sister-in-law. It was the sister-in-law's other mother-in-law or something like that. Does that make sense? So it's like, it was the host, it was her husband's sister, and then that sister's mother-in-law. Make sense? So not the host mother-in-law, right? Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so the sister brought the mother-in-law, and when I was doing checkout, the mother-in-law was like, I don't know why she didn't invite me herself. I'm like her other mother-in-law. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So it's just a good reminder for hosts, like, don't discriminate in your guest list. Invite everybody you know, because they, might want to come and then feel bad that you didn't invite them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Exactly. Everybody needs this stuff. So,
and even if they don't know the stuff, they want to be invited. They want to be included.
They want to be included. Exactly. And, I cannot stress, like I said, we're going to be talking more about booking parties at parties, but really have anything you're doing, having somebody bring people that you don't know, really, you guys, that's really the key to growing your business. Mm-hmm. So fresh new people. Fresh people. Okay, and then last, obviously, throwing this out here, the Christmas season's over, but we're heading into the New Year, Mother's Day, all this stuff. Vendor events are always great, but they only work as if you actually are working it and following up with people. You can go and show up And you can go show up, show your stuff. My husband and I were actually debating because I have an event I promised her I'd do last year, and I committed again this year, but I haven't done it. And it's like $200. And I'm sitting here going, do I want to do this? And my husband's like, what's your track record on your other events? You know, you like ones because they do this and this and this, but what are you actually getting out of it? And you're actually following up. So if you have a stack of names and numbers, you know, you guys go back, follow up with those first. Okay. Okay, you guys, well, thank you so much. Connie will be on here next week. I don't know her topic yet, but I will be doing another with bookings the week after that. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you getting on. Don't hang up quite yet. I'm going to stop the recording if I can figure out.